Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sherry Marks. I'm an instructional technology coordinator with technology integration. And this training today is the great Google Cleanout Sync, Save, and Sort. Um, I promise I restarted my computer. Okay, so sometimes it's slow. So whenever you have to go find a file in your Google Drive, how long does it take right now? Does it take a long period of time, or are you super organized and you can just find it and you know exactly where that file is? Raise your hand if you can do that. So Josh, you can find a file anywhere in your Google Drive if you want to right now without searching for it.
Oh, without searching for it. Okay, never mind. I would say 80% of the time.
Okay. And Jasmine says well, she said well. So I don't know if that means that okay, she said maybe. So today, um, our our lesson is going to be over the sync. So this is learning how to add the Google Drive to desktop for easy access. This means that any files that you have on your computer, because we don't work from home ever. I know we don't. We leave work here and don't touch it whenever we go home. That is a lie. We all do it. We're all guilty of it. But sometimes we have files that are saved on our desktop computer and we can't access those at home. So that's why Google Drive for Desktop is a great way to access all of those documents. There's also the safety net. I'm going to teach you how to use the Google Takeout to sync your work files to your personal account. I will say this, the Google Takeout is great if you are leaving the district, and we don't want to see anyone leave, but if you want to take your stuff, this is a great way to do this. And then the last thing that we'll go over is the deep clean. Learn how to organize your Google Drive. So the first one, and I would love for everyone to follow along. So the first thing to do is, do you have Google Drive on your desktop? So how you can do that is you can check by going to your File Explorer and see if you have the G drive there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm actually going to show my entire screen. So the File Explorer is right down here. So to see if you have Google Drive, you would open this up and you could go to this PC and you have all of these and then you have a local disk. But if you actually go up here, there is a G drive. And this is your Google Drive for desktop. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new tab and I'm just going to type in Google Drive for desktop. And you'll see that I have it. I can just click here. I'm just clicking on the very first link and I'm going to download it for Windows. I want to download it, so I'm going to save. And you can see up here that it is downloading. It might take a minute or two. So if everyone can just look and see if they have it on their Google Drive. So now it's saying it's done. So I'm going to open this up. See if it'll work now. Oop. So you'll go to File Explorer, and you should be able to see your Google Drive for your desktop right here. So I have this little button here. This was on my desktop, so I'm going to double click it. So my Google Drive is back. So I'm going to click here. In here, I can see my drive, and I can see my files and all of the files that I haven't organized. I can see all of my folders and all of that. And if I wanted to, I could go, I'm just going to use one of my downloads as an example. I'm going to use this Google Takeout and just say that I want this photo in this folder that in my Google Drive. I can just drag and drop. And that is adding it to my Google Drive. Well, it's being a little weird today, and that's okay. But you should be able to drag and drop files, and if they are saved to your desktop, you can just drag those files over. Any questions about downloading this? I know you got to see me actually go through it. I had to think where it was. So now I want you to practice. So if while you have us here, I would love for you to try to get on your Google Drive for desktop and try to open it on your desktop computer and let us know if you are having any of those issues. Uh, so you might have to put in a ticket, and one of our techs can come and put it on your computer for you. Mhm. I did not realize that was going to be an issue. Wonderful. Are there any questions about using Google Drive for desktop? Again, this is just a really great way for you to, bring over your files that are already saved on your desktop and put them in your Google Drive so that you have access to them at home. All right, if there are no questions, I am going to go to the next part of our training. So the next part of our training is the safety net. So that's the Google Takeout. So Google Takeout is where you can meet your new digital genie from Google, a free tool that lets you whisk away a copy of all your precious data, such as emails, files, photos, even your calendar shindigs. AI did write this. I wrote something like this and then AI just made it more fun. I love Canva, right? Sometimes it just makes it also fun. With a click, you can download this treasure trove as a single file to your trusty computer or teleport it to another cloud palace like Dropbox or OneDrive. So the reason why you would use this Google Takeout is if you are leaving the district. We don't want you to leave, but if you have to, or if you are retiring and you don't want to lose access to all of your things, you can download it with Google Takeout. What I will say is that it does take a while to download. So if your last day is May 22nd, our last day of school, do not wait till May 22nd to do this, because what will happen is if you wait until the last minute and you wait till May 22nd to do this, it will not download anything and it will not send you like the email that it sends, because come May 23rd, you lose access to everything. So, what we're going to do now is we are going to open up a new tab. And we're just going to look up Google Takeout. And you can see that I've already clicked on it. So you would click here. And then um, it says select data to include. So now you're going to go through this and you are going to unselect or select anything and everything that you may need. Like, for example, use Google Alerts and subscriptions. I don't need that. I don't need Android device configuration service. Arts and culture, I haven't used that in a while. But assignments, I might can use that. Blogger, I don't even actually know what that is, so I'm going to unselect that one. Mm, my calendar, so I have two calendars. I have a personal Google Calendar and I have a work calendar. I'm just going to unselect this because I actually don't need all of those dates. My bookmarks, I could keep those if I would like. My classroom, so all of my posts and submissions and rosters, I could leave that. My contacts, I don't need that because all my contacts for Google or for this account are my work people. Discover, I don't need that. I do want my files though. That's the biggest thing is I do want my files. I don't need Fit, Flow, ooh, Gemini. Um, as much as I would like to take my Gemini, which is our AI that we do recommend, I probably wouldn't take that either. Just because, if I'm starting a new job, it might go somewhere else. Google Ads, I don't need that. I don't need my business profile. I don't care about my chats or my cloud search, developers, Google Earth, Google Feedback, Google Finance, Google Health, Google Help Community, Google Meet, Google One, Google Pay. I don't use Google Photos, Google Playbooks. Nope. I'm going to unselect all of these that I do not use. Oh, I might do Keep because I do use that sometimes. Mail, Maps, Messages. I don't care about my activity. Nest, News, Notebook LM. I have used that before. Data safety or personal safety. Um, Phone, Pinpoint, Pixel. Again, I'm just unselecting all the things that I probably don't need to save. What I really want is I want to make sure that I have my emails if I need them. I want to make sure that I have my Google Drive if I need them. All of my stuff on my folder and stuff like that. So now I'm gonna click on next. So now it's gonna send a download link via email. So it's gonna export once. I can just do one export. It'll be a zip drive, and I can make my file size whatever size I need to. What I will say is about the file size. So this would go to your work email because it's on your work account. What's going to happen is you have unlimited pretty much storage with your Google Workspace for Midland ISD. With your personal device, you do not have that much. I think it's 15 gigabytes. So you would either have to buy extra storage or download it to a computer. I just want to make that known so that you aren't surprised if you ever did this. And then you would just create the export. I'm not going to do it because I don't plan on leaving. So That is Google Takeout. So I'm going to go to my next slide. And I'm going to ask, would you like to practice this tool? We don't want to see y'all leave, but if you do have to leave, we do understand. Okay. I'm glad you're not leaving, Jasmine. Okay. So that is the safety net, the Google Takeout. So this is how you save your stuff that you have created over the years that you've stayed at Midland ISD, and you can take it with you when you go. But don't go. Stay with us. All right. So the next part is the real fun part. So it's called the deep clean. So now we get to kind of play with our Google Drive, and we get to kind of go over like color coding folders, emojis, and some different things. So if you want to, you can follow along for this one. So I'm going to open up a new tab. I'm going to click on my little waffle, and I'm going to click on my drive. Remember that your favorites right here, you can move around. Sorry about that. So I'm going to click on my Google Drive, and you can see that my Google Drive is crazy town. And my Google Drive is not usually like this. It's very usually put together and neat. But this year I had a baby, and I went on FMLA, and then I came back, and I have just been going nonstop since I came back. So a lot of my stuff I haven't been able to organize. So I'll kind of just show you some different tips that I do. So one thing is, adding a new folder. So I'm going to do a new folder, and how I do that is just go to new folder, and I'm just going to call it SIPA. And the reason why I'm calling it SIPA is I've done a lot of research for SIPA compliance for our district. I have looked at a lot of spreadsheets for our district, and I see at least 6 files that can go into this folder right now. And actually, I want it kind of at the top. So I'm going to click Windows P or Windows period, and I am going to do a computer. And this is just like letting me know, like SIPA is, Child Internet Protection Act. This is just a computer. So I'm going to create. And you can see with me creating that, it went to the very top. And then I get to drag and drop. So I have this SIPA compliance. So I'm going to just control, and then I'm going to select all of the SIPA compliance material that I have, along with this digital promise. And then I'm going to drag them all, and I'm going to put that up there. So I have organized 6 files pretty quickly. I then put a little emoji that's so cute up there to take it to the top. I can also right click, and I can organize this, and I can actually make this a different color. And I love the color pink. If you cannot tell with the presentation today, pink is my favorite color. So I made this SIPA folder pink because to me, pink is important. So I'm going to know that, hey, that folder is very important. So the emojis and the color changing folder, those are just different ways that you can use to organize your material. And it does add a little flair. Okay, So then I'm going to talk about two more things. I'm going to talk about workspaces and Start. So I'm going to go back over here to my Google Drive, and I have this workspaces up here. So I can tell you what I use workspaces for. I have personal workspace and I have a technology integration workspace. So what this is any files up to 50 I can put in to this workspace, and instead of going to look in my drive and trying to find all of these documents that I need, I can just go to workspace and find those. So let's create one. So to do that, I go to create workspace. I am going to call it SIPA. I'm going to create, and then it's asking me to add files. I guess there is a 25 limit, not a 50. So I'm going to add files. I can go to my drive, and I am actually just going to add, I'm going to double click on this folder, and let's see if I can do control. I can do control and add all 7 files to this workspace. And then I click done. So the reason why this is so great is anytime Isabel or Fatima come to me and they are asking me about SIPA compliance for a district, instead of trying to look in my drive for all the files that obtain to that, because you never know, I could have missed a file and I really need to go back through here. But I know all the files that I deemed as important are in this workspace. And then if I see a file that I don't want to use, I can also delete it. And you can see that I use it for my personal workspace. So these are just like my notes with my director, um, math meetings when I meet with the math coordinators, and then a certification that I'm working on. And then I have technology integration. So these are all the files that obtain to my job here. Um, and then the second thing that I wanted to talk about is the starred files. So for example, if you did not want to, or actually, I think starred would be actually better if you go to shared with me. I think that's probably the best way to do it. So you have shared with me. So these are everything that's been shared with me over today, earlier this week. I can um mhm, click on the 3 dots and organize and add to starred. So for the shared with me files, instead of me trying to save them to my drive and put them in my workspace, or trying to get them over there, because sometimes it's not that easy, I can just go to starred, and then I can look at it here. So for example, this is just the CAMI usage report for our school district. Um, and that's how I would use it. So I'd use Workspace for like files that I open up on a regular basis. In Start, I would probably use a little bit more for files that maybe are important, but I'm not opening those as much, but I still need to know where to access those. And then I would like everyone to practice. So I am going to set a timer for about 2 minutes. I don't think 2 minutes is too long. So I'm going to set a timer for 2 minutes, and I'm going to let you just practice what we've all just learned, whether it's the organization, or the Google Drive for desktop or the Google Takeout. While we're all on the call, feel free to practice for about 2 minutes before I actually give you a bonus tip. Oh, okay. And I was going to play music, but oh no. and feel free to ask any questions that you may have. Again, this is just 2 minutes, and if you don't want to play with Google Drive, take a minute, have a drink of water. That's what I'm about to do. So we have a question. It says, I have a question about multiple documents. If I delete a document in one file, will it delete it completely? How do I get rid of multiple document downloads? Does that make any sense? Are you talking about it on your desktop computer, Gail? Or are you talking about in your, okay. So on your desktop computer, if you wanted just to get rid of all your downloads, I believe you could probably just do Control A and right click or click on the trash can up here and delete them all. Does, does that make sense, Gail? Again, it's just Control A to highlight everything, and then you can use the little trash can. And that's just in your File Explorer. Okay. Are there any other questions? Will I be able to keep one original copy? If you take that, if you downloaded that one original copy, what I would do is I would take the original copy and I would put it in my Google Drive. That way it's not going to be deleted. And then if I want to delete all my downloads, then I would delete. So save what you want to in your downloads first and then delete what you don't. You're welcome. So the next thing that I want to show you is how to search in your Omnibar or your search bar in your Google Drive. So I am going to copy and paste a URL real quick in the chat. I didn't grab it all. Jasmine asks, so if I send all of my downloads to my drive, is it safe to delete them from downloads? Yes, it is. So I put in a link. Don't do anything with that link yet. Yes, Josh. Jasmine.
Jasmine, I would just add one thing to that is that if you're uploading a lot of documents all at the same time, when you drag and drop or however you drop them into your Google Drive, just make sure you see that all of those green check marks are checked off. Otherwise, because what a lot of people do is they'll drag and drop something in, whether it's one large file or a bunch of files that take a little, like a few minutes to upload, they'll drop them in And as soon as they drop them in, they'll delete it from their computer. And you don't want to do that because they still have to be on your computer for Google Drive to like take them in. Does that make sense? So make sure they're all uploaded first, and then you can delete them from your local hard drive.
Thank you, Josh. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean by Josh. You're gonna have to delete my kid again. Sorry. um, so for example, I can type in the word drive in my Omnibar or my search bar, and I can add a space, and then I can type in vendor list and click enter. Once I do that, it automatically either opens up my Google Drive or it brings that file up to the very top. I can also do drive vendor list, and I can see that it's right here, and I can just click on it and it'll open it for me. So if you want to know how to do this, this is our bonus tip for this training. So you are going to right click on your Omnibar or your Google Drive search bar, and you are going to go to manage search engines and site search. Once you get there, you'll go down here and you'll do site search and you'll click add. From here, you'll name it as Google Drive. The shortcut is what you're typing in. So for me, I just type in drive and then why is it not working? Okay, they have shortened it. So it's only 4 letters now. So it's DRIV. And then URL with % place in place of query. So I just copied and pasted that. So then I just copy and paste that here and add. So I already have mine set up, so I really can't do anything. But that is the tip of the day. That's the little shortcut. So again, this allows me to type in the word drive, spacebar. I would type in a file that I know I use a lot, vendor list, and then I could just open it here. Does anyone need to see me go back through that process? You can just raise your hand. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so that is it for today's training. If you have any questions, feel free to stick around. Our phone number, if you ever need us, is the help desk. You can always email itechhelp@midlandisd.net, techhelp@midlandisd, and have a wonderful summer. And Laura, I'm really glad that it works great for you. And if you would like to give me some feedback, this is the slide. Thank you all for joining.